Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Guys, welcome to our pregame show here today featuring the Fargo Davies Eagles and the Shanley Deacons as we're starting to get a little infield-outfield here today between these two clubs on yourliveevent.com. I'm Chase Miller. It's the Fargo Davies Eagles going up against the
Shanley in Minnesota and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
This is Chris from EDC Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at EDC Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Hello, my name is Stephen Daniels. I'm a physician at Sanford. I have been in the region for over 30 years. My initial experience with DJ Coulter involved insurance for my house. After meeting him and getting to know him and realizing that he offered a lot of options, I have added my car insurance, my lake insurance, and then even insurance for my children. Every year meeting with me, seeing what has been changed, what I've needed, and sometimes we have not needed to add anything. And there have been times when I've decided to buy a boat. Their best process is communication with their customers, and I truly appreciate it. I would recommend DJ Coulter's insurance to anyone. There have been times where I have needed proof of insurance and I could not find it. And in that process, a phone call to DJ Coulter and a quick text message, I had what I needed within minutes.
As we continue here today on the pregame show, brought to you in part by this one. It's the Fargo Davies Eagles and the Shanley Mustangs here in this one, as the Eagles and the Fargo Shanley Deacons will be getting ready for this contest. Let's take a look at what happened earlier between these two teams. Red River defeated Davies 7-1, and then you had West Fargo Horse defeating Shanley in 8 innings by a final of 3-2 here earlier here in the bracket. If you just joined us, West Fargo Cheyenne top Grand Forks Central, a 7-6 in that game. You had a nice performance by Presley Tervetter picking up the win in the circle, gets a 2-run homer with 3 runs scored and 2 runs driven in, as again that was the contest there for West Fargo Cheyenne and Grand Forks Central. The winner of this game between Davies and Shanley will play at noon tomorrow in a state qualifier. The loser will have their season come to a close. We'll continue with more after this here in Fargo.
All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll cover the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 2nd and 3rd.
This will be hit and over the shortstop Berg into left center field. A run comes in to score with Alexander Raff.
Optimist Volleyball Series June 16th and 17th.
Blue outside Linsinger with another hammer.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 14th and 15th.
Baldwin finds Wick. Wick open, three-pointer coming. Yes, sir!
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
The Rumble on the Red, presented by Ellingson Companies and their Dow Metals Recycling, is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws and Authentic Drink Sprint Cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Homegrown Local Radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Growers, Prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
The Eagles and the Deacons continue here on the pregame show today on yourliveevent.com between these two respective clubs as they're getting ready for what this contest has in store here for this EDC softball tournament. Taking a look at what happened between these two clubs here earlier this season between the Mustangs and the Deacons. Some years you're able to get all your games, and others you got to move stuff around here. Fargo Shanley played Davies in a 3-1 loss back on May the 3rd, and the only matchup between these two teams here this season. So it was a low-scoring affair back on May the 3rd again, in which Davies defeated Fargo Shanley by a final of 3-1. Still to come here later today in the EDC softball tournament. It'll be Fargo North and West Fargo, and then we'll have Red River and West Fargo Horace as well. So we'll get to those two games coming up here in a moment, but that'll be up around the corner for this EDC softball contest here on yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller with you here today in downtown Fargo for Mickelson Field, your 2025 home for the tournament, as we will also get to 3 more games that'll be upcoming, and those games will be on Saturday with our coverage beginning at noon as we get you ready for the starting lineups and the opening pitch here in just a moment, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Go to NormanCountyRaceway.com. That again is NormanCountyRaceway.com to check out the World of Outlaw late models coming into Ada on June the 28th. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com as we get you ready for the starting lineups here in just a few moments on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
The World of Outlaws late models return to the Norman County Raceway, Ada, Minnesota, June 28th. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Enjoy the experience. Nationwide top 10 experience last year. Let's make it number 1 this year. World of Outlaws late models. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Tickets now available. ncraceway.com.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
As we get you ready for the starting lineups here for the Fargo Davies Eagles, Ellie Steinlicht will be batting the leadoff spot for the senior shortstop. Olivia Davidson, the junior center fielder, will be batting second. From there, Emery Machenbaker, the junior second baseman. Sophie Rarick, the opposing pitcher for the Deacons. From the Eagles' perspective, the freshman pitcher here for Fargo Davies. Elle Mann, the junior first baseman. Follow that, Maisie Carr, the senior third baseman. Julia Nybach in the junior right fielder. Reese Dietrich, the senior designated player, followed by Savageau, the 7th grader catcher, and Ava Bolton, the junior left fielder here today. So Steinlich, Davidson, Machenbaker, Rarick, Mann, Carr, Nybach, Dietrich, Savageau, and Bolton here today for head coach Matt Veit and the Fargo Davies Eagles. Well, you have Michael Finch, the head coach here for the Fargo Shanley Deacons. They'll go in left field will be Sim. You have Kuhneman in center, and then from there, Oshak. Oshak will be in right field. Beaver at first base with Dingman at second. Gregg will be at third base, shortstop. Maher will be at third base. Mitzel will be behind the plate, and Talon Card again will be in the circle. As that is a look at our starting lineups here today. The Deacons in their white tops, while the Fargo Davies Eagles will be in their all-black uniforms here in this contest. As we'll continue with more on the pregame show with our first pitch coming up in just 30 seconds here on your LiveVet.com.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
And this first pitch brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. You can check out Racing on the Radio Friday night starting at 7 o'clock on 106.5 FM KRJB. We'll have that for you here across our R&J Broadcasting Sports properties. And we'll also through the summer months in Ada on Thursday nights have some more racing on the radio as well. Chase Miller with you today from Mickelson Field as we will get to the top side of the lineup. Davies, the number 7 seed. Fargo Shanley, the number 6 seed in our final elimination game of the day. Then we'll get to the respective the EDC semifinals here later today starting at 4 o'clock. Ellie Steinlich here, the senior shortstop. And right on schedule here, opening pitch will be at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock. As this one is going to be bunted. That'll go foul. And it will be 0-1. Again, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Time to turn it up for the summer with some dirt track racing in the Red River Valley. No balls and a strike on the way here to Ellie Steinlich, the shortstop. That was the righty Talon Card in the circle here for the Deacons. Card, we'll see this one. That'll be fisted. That'll go foul. It's now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes here to Steinlich, Davidson, and Machenbacher here. Already saw a really tight contest. If you just joined us, Cheyenne defeated Grand Forks Central 7-6 earlier today. As the Mustangs, the number 4 seed, upended the number 8 seed in their season for the night. Strike 3 looking, and Carter gets a strikeout to open up this EDC softball tournament contest. Now it's to Olivia Davidson. Davidson, the junior center fielder here for the Eagles. Again, all black tops, black bottoms with Davies in cursive across the front in that maroon color here today. As the Deacons with Card, we'll see this one popped up, playable. Second baseman Dingman is there. And there's 2 down here at the top of the first inning. All for Fargo Shanley, they will have their red numbers, red letters across the front for Shanley, white tops, white bottoms here today. The High Sox as well in red. So 2 up and 2 down so far for Talon Card. As Card, we'll see this. That'll be in there for a strike. As we can hear the Fargo Davies Eagles dugout chanting happy birthday to Emery. So the junior second baseman, the lefty, trying to get aboard here for the Eagles. That's a nice base knock into left center field. That'll one-hop the wall. Emery Machenbaker makes her way around first, on her way to second. It's a stand-up double, and happy birthday to you. It's a 2-out double here for Machenbaker. Able to get aboard here for Fargo Davies. That was a good line drive hit immediately off the bat. And now it's Sophie Rarick here for the freshman pitcher. Rarick did a nice job last year as an 8th grader in the circle out at Castleton, and Now a freshman here getting a chance to continue for head coach Matt Veit. That's got a lot of girls on the roster. Here's this one is popped up, and that one will go foul. It's 0-1, and that went right on top of the press box, which has gone peppered a little bit here today for the press box. I think the one press box that is where you want to bring the fishnet is NDSU for softball. That has a lot of indentations up there. It's the perfect spot that goes right over the netting into the press box area on the north side of Fargo. There's the 0-1 offering upcoming here to Rarick. This card works ahead in the count. 0-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball. That'll go to center. This one's going to be off the wall. Kuhneman will play this one back-to-back two-out doubles for the Eagles, and Fargo Davies strikes first on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. As we'll see 1-0 on the way. Rorick hits a big-time double on that one, as we'll have a courtesy runner coming in. Morganroth. As Morganroth will come on here for Rarick, who nearly tattoos a double into left center field. 1-0 on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard here, as we see a couple of good base hits by Machenbaker and Rarick into left center field. This one will be foul by Mann. It's now 0-1. So after a strikeout of Steinlicht and Davidson popped out, Machenbaker and Rarick with back-to-back doubles. And Kuhneman's been kept busy out in left center field here as there's two down and a little two-out magic here for the Eagles. Survive and advance, the name of the game for both of these two teams here this afternoon. Nice pitch by Card in there for a strike. It's 0-1. As Deacons right now trying to get in the dugout with just a one-run deficit. These two teams met. It was a 3-1 Fargo Davies win earlier in the month, where runs were hard to come by between these two teams. Second meeting here this season. Good crowd on tap for this matchup between the 25th Street Showdown now in the softball series here. The 0-2 pitch from Card. This one will be popped up playable as it looks to stay in play. It does with Mitzel in foul territory to retire this side. There was a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base as we make our way on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard. It's Fargo Davies 1, Fargo Shanley scoreless coming to the plate.
Trusted news, weather, and sports from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
As we continue on our coverage here today on yourliveevent.com, Fargo Davies Eagles do have a one-run lead thanks in part to a little two-out magic there in the first inning, but the Deacons will have their first time through. Update for you out west, Mandan over Bismarck, Legacy in 5, 15-2, so the Mandan Braves will be making their way, and they'll advance to a state qualifier upcoming in the WDA tournament. Again, 15-2, Mandan over Bismarck Legacy. So the Mandan Braves will await who they will play tomorrow out in the WDA, which is going on simultaneously as the EDC tournament. This one a strike to Sim. Sarah Sim followed by Dingman, and then Greg here top third of the lineup for Fargo Shanley going up against Sophie Rarick in the circle. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Now 0-2. Card will be in the cleanup, followed by Beaver and Maher. Then from there you'll have Oshak, Olson, Kuhneman, Mitzel as well will be catching here today for the Deacons. As there's a strikeout on the way for Rarick to begin things off, and one down in the bottom of the first inning. And coaches of Michael Finch for Fargo Shanley, Matt Veit here for Fargo Davies. Bolton in left, Davidson in straightaway center with Nybakken in right here for the Eagles. Rarick, we'll see this one hit foul by Ding Mendez, is now 0-1. Carr at third base, Ellie Steinlecht at shortstop, Machenbaker at second, man at first with Savageau behind the plate. Steinlicht again at shortstop. Here's the 0-1. This one is popped up, playable. Someone's going to call for it. Ellie's able to do so at second. Steinlicht comes in, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Looking at the weather today, been mostly clear skies so far here at Mickelson. Currently around 63, 64 degrees. A little wind, but nothing too much to speak about, where if you slice one to center where it just volts it to left or volts it to right. So all things considered, about as picture perfect of a day you could ask for here at the end of May. 1 ball, no strikes on the way to Alexa Gregg. Gregg, the opposing shortstop here for the Deacons, able to fist this one into center. Coming on for it is Davidson. It'll be a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sophie Rarick as we'll make our way to the top of the second inning. Fargo Davies leads it 1-0 on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us, and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
It's the North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll cover the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 2nd and 3rd.
This will be hit and over the shortstop berg into left center field. A run comes in to score with Alexander Rath.
Optimist Volleyball Series June 16th and 17th.
Blue outside, Linsinger with another hammer.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 14th and 15th.
Baldwin finds Wick. Wick open, three-pointer coming. Yes, sir!
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
Mr. Titus behind the plate calling balls and strikes here in this one. For this second game, you have Randy Olson and also from there Mr. Hahn around the base pass here in this one. As we get to the second inning already here in this contest, Talon Card at the plate will go up against Maisie Carr. Carr, first pitch swinging this one will be foul, and we'll see if we hear it as it goes over the press box. Nope, there it is. And it makes its way like a mini golf course or a Plinko chip down to the field level. No balls, 1 strike on the way here to Maisie Carr, the senior third baseman. If you're just joining us, Sophie Rarick double was able to plate Machenbaker at second base with 2 down in the top of the first inning. Foul tip into the glove of Mitzel. It's now 0-2. So the Mandan Braves pick up a win over Legacy in the WDA. They will await the loser of Minot or Dickinson for a state qualifier upcoming out west. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That'll miss. Little waste pitch, now 1-2. One thing talking about pitching, if you've heard Greg Maddox talk, and I understand it's baseball to softball, but Maddox always said if I got a batter in an 0-2 count, I would never do a waste pitch. It's the worst batting average. Go after the hitter. The 0-2, going after the hitter there was Card. They'll have to complete the strikeout at first. They do to Mitzel to Beaver, and there's 1 down here in the second inning. As you'll see, Nybakken, Julia, the junior right fielder, coming to the plate here for the Eagles. Last season here in the EDC tournament for both of these two teams, Fargo Davies was the number 8 seed. They lost to Red River in the EDC quarterfinals a season ago, beat Devils Lake in a loser-out game as Nybakken swung on a miss, and then got to a state qualifier, nearly defeated Cheyenne, in which the Mustangs beat them 2-1 in a really good back-and-forth contest between the Mustangs and the Eagles last season in Castleton. No balls and a strike here on the way to Nybakken. That'll be in there now, 0-2. Well, for Fargo Shanley last season, the number 6 seed as they were this year, lost to Cheyenne 9-1 in the EDC tournament. Then the Highliners derailed the Deacons 10-6 in a EDC loser out game in this very round last season. 0-2 pitch. Will stay alive for Julia. Cheyenne, Red River, North, and West Fargo represented the East last year, and all of them are still alive this season to do the same upcoming. Going through since 2021, we've had a different team win the state championship every year since COVID year. 21 was Valley City over West Fargo. 22, Cheyenne defeated the Packers. 23, West Fargo defeated Red River, and last season North, as the 4th seed, upended West Fargo. Here's the pitch. Foul tipped. Julia staying alive. This season, everything goes to UND. First game on Thursday, 6 days from now, will be at 11 o'clock in the morning. The East number 4 seed will play the West number 1 seed at 11 o'clock in the morning up at UND to open up the state tournament. And the West has had a lot of really good players in recent years in the WDA, some that have made their way to the Summit League and collegiately as well. This one foul back, and well, if this was baseball with a pitch count, you'd start being annoyed if you're a Deacon fan right now. But in softball, you don't have to worry about 135 pitches over a particular couple of days or 120 and just in terms of appearances. A good battle brewing between Card and Nybach in between these two. The junior right fielder trying to get aboard. Card would look for her second straight strikeout potentially here. The righty with the pitch. This one will be foul again. Going through the East All-Star rosters, you saw Aubrey Hensrud, who we saw in the first game, will be part of the Shield Softball All-Star Series. Aubrey King of Fargo North, Ava Hensrud as well. Bailey LaRue from Valley City, able to be part of that team with Caitlin Kackman from the West Fargo Packers. That'll miss out of the zone. Trying to see if Nybakken would chase it. Also, Leah Hoffman from Fargo North. Got to see Presley Tavetter. Kilgore for Red River. You saw Migler also get nominated here from the East as well. Good battle brewing between Nybakken and Card, and this at-bat's gone as long as what the first inning did between the two teams, it feels like, as this one will run in off the glove of Mitzel. It's now 2-2. A nice day to play hooky, maybe on this Memorial Day weekend coming out to the ballpark. Maybe play 9 holes, get 18 holes of golf in before you get out to the lakes. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way as Card looks to Mitzel behind the plate. This one will do it again. Pitch after pitch after pitch right now here for Card and Nybach. And the question is, who's going to win this battle? If there is any wind, just blowing a smidgen in right now, but nothing too much to contend with from right field. It's Card back in the circle here for Fargo Shanley. Swung on a miss, and winning the battle is Talon Card for her second straight strikeout. She's got 3 in the circle, and there's 2 down. Dietrich to the plate for the senior designated player in the number 8 spot in the lineup here. And Card looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning. So far it's been 2 extra base hits for the Eagles that have been the difference, as this one has gone foul, now 0-1. For Fargo Shanley, they will have their 4, 5, and 6 batters. Card, Beaver, and then Maher due up after that here for Fargo Shanley. The Eagles on this season, 10-12. Well, for the Deacons, they sit at 5-9 on the year. No balls and strike. Card versus Dietrich here, righty-righty matchup. With the 0-1 pitch. That'll miss inside for a ball. It's now 1-1. Home of Fargo North softball here for Mickelson Field. That blue across the outfield here today. North softball and the Spartan emblem in the gaps. This will be popped up. Someone's going to make a play, and that goes into Bermuda's triangle. As you saw, Dingman, Gregg, and Kuhneman all hustle after it, but just couldn't get there quick enough, and Reese Dietrich is aboard with a 2-out single. just kind of hanged in the air, and by the time you saw where it was going to go, back in your mind, you're wondering if any Deacon player was going to be able to go there and maybe glove that softball. As you'll see, Savageau then back to the top of the lineup. Savageau is 7th grader, catching a 9th grader in Rarick, so the future looks really bright from a Davies perspective if you can get that as your 1-2 battering ram for the next couple of seasons. As the runner is going to break from second, and this one will one hop. There will be a stolen base here for Dietrich as she gets in to scoring position. As we'll see this, 0-1 on the count upcoming here to Savageau. Savageau, the number 9 batter here, looking to put one back up the middle, plate the runner in with Dietrich, and get Davies off to a 2-0 lead. The winner of this contest will make their way to a state qualifying game tomorrow at noon to open up our first of 3 games against either Fargo North or West Fargo. And we'll have that one for you next. That game's scheduled for a 4 o'clock opening pitch, then roughly at around 6 o'clock will be our nightcap with Red River and West Fargo Horace. Horace, a team that 2 years ago at West Fargo in the EDC softball tournament made it to this round. Last year they failed to make the tournament, so a team that continues to grow out west is the runner there with Dietrich. Next time that happens, you wonder if Mitzel might throw back at second base and try to get the runner. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the way here to Savageau. Scar looking to strike out the side here in the top half of the second inning. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, and Card able to do so. A 2-out single goes awry here. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard. It's still a 1-0 lead for Fargo Davies.
The Rumble on the Red, presented by Ellingson Companies and their Dow Metals Recycling, is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws Not Sanity Drink Sprint Cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Bottom of the second inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. The Fargo Davies Eagles with a 1-0 lead. Card, Beaver, and Maher due up here for the Fargo Shanley Deacons. As on our DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard, your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance agency that wants a shot at your business. Go to djcoulter.com, or as DJ would say, cover the man that can cover your can at DJ Coulter Agency. So bottom of the second inning here for the Fargo Shanley Deacons after Sophie Rarick hit a 3-up, 3-down first. They'll try to get their first base runner aboard here in the second inning. On a Card here, the opposing pitcher. And we'll see if Card can get a battle going as Rarick barely hit a throw too many pitches. Got Sem on 3 strikes. Digman was retired on 2 pitches, and Gregg was retired on 2 pitches as well. As the crowd continues to file in on here on this contest. Go from where 70 and 80 is going to feel warm again after about 2 weeks ago you got used to the 90-degree weather. We were kind of joking with some broadcasters throughout the course of the week where 40 degrees is going to feel cold again after it went back up to about 90, as this one will be 0-1. Rarick with the 0-1 pitch. This one will be fouled back. That'll be 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes on the way here for the pitcher. As for the Deacons right now, albeit still early in the game, but you want to make sure you can find some quality at bats here, put the ball in play. As leaving that one, it will be now 1-2. 7 innings for high school softball unless we get to the run rule in 5 here in this tournament. Haven't had to worry about the run rule at all so far through 5 games. As this one goes off the glove of Savageau, it's now 2-2. 1 game has gone extras. We've had 2 games that have been a 1-run game. 1 was a 2-run, 6 and then 8 has been the difference through 5 contests so far. The 2-2 pitch, fisted, and this one will go popped up and all the way. Now 2-2. If we didn't have this little awning in front of us here where, for the press box, where it kind of reaches out, gets some shade, we might be in foul territory in terms of that foul ball. 2-2 pitch, and Card able to do it all over again. And we'll keep it at 2-2 strikes. So a good battle here for Card, similar to what we saw again with Nybach in the top half of the second inning against Card. This now pitcher versus pitcher, mano y mano. And now it's 3-2. First full count of the game here for Rarick, and we'll see if Card can climb aboard, or will Rarick get her second strikeout. Payoff pitch upcoming here from Sophie. This one is going to be hit in the air to straightaway center. Davidson has time to camp on underneath it, and there's one down. As now it's going to be Liz Beaver, the junior first baseman here for Fargo Shanley. Also, I know for the Fargo Shanley faithful out there, keeping Bowden Meyer in their thoughts and prayers, and the Meyer family after he's been in the hospital now for a few days. There's a Lend a Hand, a Caring Bridge website if you want to learn more information on the former Fargo Shanley Deacon at Bowden Meyer, again in the hospital for the last week or so. A really standout athlete, player for Fargo Post 2, Fargo Shanley as well. Here's the pitch. This one will miss now. 1-1, so again, search either Caring Bridge or Lend a Hand to find out more information how you can help out as well. 1-1 strike on the way here to Beaver. As this will be in there for a strike by Rarick. In basketball, they say nothing sweeter than a swish. I'm not sure if anything's sweeter than just a really good pitcher popping the mid of a catcher in baseball or softball outside of maybe barreling one up. And there's a swing and a miss. Rarick with her second strikeout, and there's two down. That'll be Maher coming up to the plate. Emily Maher here for the Deacons. As Rarick looking for her second consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning. This one will be fisted. That'll go foul now, 0-1. Earlier today on YourLiveEvent.com, West Fargo Cheyenne with a nail-biter roller coaster win over Grand Forks Central, 7-6. So the Knights have been officially eliminated from the EDC tournament as Rarick delivers a strike. It's 0-2. And you can just see Sophie Rarick's potential moving forward here as a freshman. Able to see what she did last year as an 8th grader. The 0-2 pitch swung on. This one through the glove and off the glove of Savageau. They'll have to apply the tag or go the long way. They do, and Rarick gets her third strikeout. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Eagles. Honor Dakota here today in North Dakota. 2 innings apiece in the EDC softball tournament. It is a 1-0 lead for Fargo Davies.
Local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Top of the third inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. So far, nice little pitcher's duel, and quite frankly, for Miss Card so far at the plate, outside of back-to-back doubles, she has been almost just as efficient as Rarick has been. Mickelson Field, you can see down the right field line, Jack Williams Stadium, home of Fargo Post 2. You can see those lights. 3 softball diamonds here in downtown Fargo, a nice venue, and with all the rain, everything is greened up and starting to see some dandelions making its way through the grass as well. Back to the top of the lineup here. Steinlich coming up to the plate. Davidson and Monchenbaker top third on the lineup here for Fargo Davies. First time through for Card. She's given up a couple of hits. 2 doubles, a single. There's been 1 run, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Struck out Ellie looking back in inning number 1. As Card looks back into Mitzel behind the plate, gets the sign, and winds. This will be hit on the ground. Gregg is there. Gregg with the throw, but this one will be safe regardless as getting on first base. It'll be an infield single. with Ellie Steinlich trying to leg out an infield single with the throwing error. It was going to be a close play, even with the good throw at first base. Greg's got a good arm on the play, but that'll be a runner at first base, and we'll see this one now to Davidson. As we'll see this now here for the card with a runner on how Davies wants to play this. Here comes the throw. Good throw. Do they get her? Yes, they do. Greg able to perfect throw by Mitzel. Mitzel gives it to Greg. Greg didn't have to do anything except catch it, and the slide by Steinlich went right into her, so caught stealing. And there's one down. Mark that one for a potential play of the game later on here on yourliveevent.com. Olivia Davidson. We'll see this fisted. That'll go to the second baseman. Dingman underhands it to Beaver, 4-3 on the putout. But going back to that throw by Mitzel behind the plate, it needed to be perfect to even have a chance to throw out Steinlich. And as Greg went to go glove the softball right in front of the bag, that's where the softball came, and just able to apply the tag and get the first down to the inning. Davidson with the ground out. Now it's to Machenbaker here, who hit a double her last time up. This one will go foul. It's 0-1. And Fargo Davies had 2 outs in the top of the first inning, and they got back-to-back extra base hits to score a run. Looking to do that here as well. A myriad of seniors, juniors, a sprinkle and a freshman and a 7th grader here in the lineup for head coach Matt Veit and the Eagles. This is going to be hit in the air to left, and that'll camp under, and that'll be off the glove of the left fielder, Sim. Machenbaker will make her way to second, and that one off the glove of Sim in left, which quite frankly should have been caught for an out. Instead, the Eagles get an extra out here in this inning, and the ever-dangerous Rarick will come up to the plate. So now a runner in scoring position. Sim had a chance to make just a nice gloving catch, but now he'll bring Rarick up, and Rarick had a ringing double her last time up as Kuhneman shading in the gap to left center field and center. As this one will miss low for a ball, now 1-0. Game that's a half hour old here today in Fargo, top of the third inning between the Eagles and the Deacons in the 2025 EDC softball tournament. Davies looking to add on to that lead. Rarick will hit one on the ground. Maher bobbles it, then tries to throw, and it eats her up on the bobble. So we'll have runners at the corners now with 2 down, and Fargo Shanley right now just kind of hurting themselves as we have a courtesy runner coming in here for the Eagles. As number 12 will come on, a courtesy run here for Fargo Davies with Morganroth as she did. As this is going to be called a strike, it's now 0-1. As El Mann up to the plate, so Morganroth stands at first, Machenbaker stands at third, and it's a 2-out potential rally here for the Eagles in the top half of the inning. This will be hit. Popped up. Dingman with the glove. Yes, that'll retire the side after the Deacons booted the ball around a little bit in the top of the third inning. It's still a 1-0 lead on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard.
Prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Bottom of the third inning here on yourliveevent.com. Bottom third in the lineup so far, Sophie Rarick. 2 innings of work, no walks, 3 strikeouts, no hits. And Fargo Shanley committed 3 errors in the top of the third inning. The Eagles were unable to capitalize on anything, as now the Deacons will try to figure out the puzzle that is Rarick, as this is going to be a slow grounder. Schlichting will be there, makes a good throw in time with the stretch by Mann. Steinlicht, Allie Steinlicht with the nice play at shortstop. It'll be 6-3, and there's 1 down here at the bottom of the third inning. That was tough by the lefty as well. You get just an extra foot out in front of home plate. 6-3 and 1 down on 1 pitch. Swung on a miss. As you'll see here for the Deacons with Isabel Olsen, a freshman. Fargo Shanley, a couple of seniors and juniors, and a lot of underclassmen here this season for Fargo Shanley. This one runs out of the zone. It's 1-1. Go from this. You have state track and field in Bismarck going on throughout the weekend, getting ready for regionals, and state for golf as well, as this one will be hit on the ground. Carr is there, makes the flip across the diamond. A 5-3 on the putout, and there's 2 down here, bottom of the third inning. As to the plate will be Kuhneman. Kuhneman here for Fargo Shanley will be the 9th batter to the plate, and then back to leadoff batter here with Sarah Sim. Rarick has attacked the zone here today. Able to get another one at 0-1. She's had just 1 2-ball count. That's when Talon Card worked the count full. Took a couple of foul balls. Otherwise, it's been about 2 to 3 pitches max. Getting these outs. This one swung on and miss. Now 0-2. As Kuhneman will try to find a way to put the ball in play. That's what the Deacons have done so far, but it's been a couple of groundouts. We've seen 2 flyouts to center to Davidson and a pop-out to Steinlicht, as well as this one will go all the way to the backstop. It's now 1-2. For Fargo Davies, they will make their way with Carr, Nybakken, and Dietrich, these 6, 7, and 8 batters to the plate. Here's the 1-2 offering. Foul tipped, and we'll keep it all over again. When it comes to baseball and softball, there's been discussions of having 3 divisions or 3 classes for track and field. I'm not sure if that'll ever gain any more steam than just kind of a talk about. When it comes to baseball and softball, not enough schools from the Class B to A ranks to really make a 3-class system. Also in B just becomes a little bit tougher, where you might have boys golf on top of track and field. You have softball on top of track and field, so just a little bit more of some dual sport athletes. The 2-2 pitch works the count full, so after falling behind 0-2, Kuhneman 1 pitch away from getting on base and trying to get the first base runner of the day here for the sophomore center fielder. There's Rarick with the 3-2. That'll miss out of the zone, and Kuhneman is the first base runner of the game here for Fargo Shanley. Goes back to Sarah. Is Sim the junior left fielder? Sim will bat from the left-handed side as Rarick ties up the shoelaces here. And for the Deacons, for the first time here in this game, they at least get a runner on, and they will try to do what Davies did back in the first inning. Get a little 2-out rally going here in the bottom of the third. As Rarick with the pitch, here's a bunt. Rarick will be there, gloves it, fires. Not going to be in time, and going from second to third. Do they get her? Yes. Able to call her out on the play, as that one will go Rarick to Mann to Carr, 1 to 3 to 5, and Kuhneman trying to go from first to third is out. So Sim gets an infield single. There were no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. And what a play from Mann to Carr to throw out the runner eventually then at third base. As we make our way to the top of the 4th, it's still 1-love in favor of Fargo Davies.
Hello, my name is Stephen Daniels. I'm a physician at Sanford. I have been in the region for over 30 years. My initial experience with DJ Coulter involved insurance for my house. After meeting him and getting to know him and realizing that he offered a lot of options, I have added my car insurance, my lake insurance, and then even insurance for my children. Every year meeting with me, seeing what has been changed, what I've needed, and sometimes we have not needed to add anything, and there have been times when I've decided to buy a boat. Their best process is communication with their customers, and I truly appreciate it. I would recommend DJ Coulter's insurance to anyone. There have been times where I have needed proof of insurance, and I could not find it. And in that process, a phone call to DJ Coulter and a quick text message, I had what I needed within minutes.
Good old-fashioned pitchers duel so far through 3 innings of play, as you'll see Carr, Nybakken, and Dietrich here for the Fargo Davies Eagles against Card. Card 3 innings of work, 3 hits so far, a run and 3 strikeouts. One swung and a miss. It's 1-1 well for Rarick. 3 innings of work, 1 hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts in her own right. Top the 4th inning, a game that's 39 minutes old here today in downtown Fargo. There's the 1-1 offering. So run in, dancing out of the way. His Carr, it's now 2-1. Maisie struck out to open up the 2nd inning. Davies 5 batters to the plate in the 1st, 4 in the 2nd, 5 as well in inning number 3. This Card falls behind with the 2-1 pitch. This is going to be a high fly ball hit down the left field line, but that'll go foul. Off the barrel of the bat, that sounded awfully good. The only question was, it going to stay fair or go foul? And that one fouled just by a skosh. Two balls, 2 strikes on a long strike 2. Swung on a miss, and Card gets her 4th strikeout of the afternoon. 1 down here in the top of the 4th. Nybakken 0 for 1 with the strikeout, swinging back in the 2nd inning. The righty-righty matchup as Card will deliver a ball here to Nybakken, where Nybakken just took pitch after pitch against Card the first time and hit about 6 consecutive foul balls before finally Card was able to get a strikeout. This one is going to be bunted. That goes right in front of the home plate. It was then about a half a foot. Mitzel does a good job going to Beaver. 2-3 on the putout. As Nybakken, maybe an extra foot to get it out in front of home plate, would have had a chance at first base, but a really nice throw by the catcher Mitzel there. And there's 2 down. We've seen some good defensive plays so far through about a game and a half from the 4 teams that we've seen from Central. Cheyenne, Shanley, and Davies. Dietrich to the plate. This will be bunted up the 3rd baseline foul. Dietrich got a single with a stolen base. Her last time up in the 2nd inning. A game where runs have been hard to come by. The first game with Central and Cheyenne, you kind of figured we get some offense with how teams were swinging it in the 1st and the 2nd. So far here in this one, has been just a good old-fashioned Card and Rarick. 2 pitchers who have found the zone, found different ways to attack these hitters, get some strikes, work ahead in counts. As Card with the 0-2. This one is going to be hit. That'll go just over the stands. And we'll keep it at no balls and 2 strikes. Win this game, you got a date with the potential EDC tournament defending champ of Fargo North, or a perennial EDC power in the West Fargo Packers. The 1-seed Spartans and the 5-seed Packers are scheduled to play here at 4 o'clock this afternoon. After the conclusion of that game, we will get to Red River and Horace. Swing and a miss. Card with a 3-up, 3-down inning, and it's her 5th strikeout in the circle. As we make our way to the bottom half of the 4th inning on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard, it's Fargo Davies 1, the Deacons scoreless.
Come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
It's the North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event as we'll cover the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 2nd and 3rd.
This will be hit and over the shortstop Berg into left center field. A run comes in to score with Alexander Rath.
Optimist Volleyball Series June 16th and 17th.
Blue outside Linsinger with another hammer.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 14th and 15th.
Baldwin finds Wick. Wick open, three-pointer coming. Yes, sir!
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Chase Miller with you here today on yourliveevent.com, where we will have continuous coverage throughout the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow here in Fargo for the EDC softball tournament. As you'll see, the 2, 3, and 4 batters, Digman, Gregg, and Cord, up to the plate here. Just one hit against Rarick through 3 innings of work so far in the circle for Fargo Davies, and she is putting on a potential player of the game performance as she has the only run driven in as well. This will be hit on the ground, and that's a base hit by Dingman. Able to get to first base here, and for Fargo, Shanley, for the first time today, a leadoff runner aboard here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Alexa Gray, a fly out to Davidson in center. Bolton stands in left, Nybakken in right. That was back to finish off the first inning. Steinlicht at shortstop with Carr at third. Machenbaker at second, Mann at first, and Savageau behind the plate here for Fargo Davies. As we'll get a time called. As we'll do it all over again. Waiting to make sure you get the official to umpire to let you know we're good to roll. This one will be a ball. It's not 1-0. So Titus behind the plate calling balls and strikes in this one. Being helped out in the base pass here as well with Randy Olson. Mr. Hahn here today. 1 ball, no strikes. As this one goes through the glove of Savageau, and the Deacons will get a runner in scoring position for the first time today against Rarick. So Dingman stands at second base, and the tying run is 120 feet away here for the Deacons. Here's the 2-0 offering from Rarick. That'll miss. Now 3-0. Talon Card due up next. Well, the Deacons haven't had many chances against Rarick so far in this circle. 3-0 in there for a strike at 3-1. Ran themselves out of the inning back in the third after a 2-out walk by Kuhneman, a bump by Sim. Then Kendall was trying to go first to third on the bunt. She got thrown out at third base. 3-1 is going to miss for a ball. And we'll have runners at first and second. As we'll see Card now, the number 4 batter here in the lineup. And we'll see what the play is put on here for Coach Michael Finch. Sometimes you don't want to take the bat out of your potential best hitter and a cleanup batter, but in a game like this, a bunt could be coming to move runners up. First pitch swinging is Card, as this one will be skied in the air. Nybakken is there at right. The fielders will bring the ball back in. Nobody moves up 1 pitch, and Card is retired. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Liz Beaver with a strikeout her last time up at the plate. Part of back-to-back strikeouts for Rarick of Beaver and Maher. That was her last 2 in the contest. Here's the 0-1 offering. This one will miss. It's now 1-0. If you're just joining us, the lone run here for Fargo Davies came back in the first inning after a Machenbaker double with 2 outs in the first. Sophie Rarick also had a double right behind her. That's the 1 run across. This one will miss in, now 2-0. Something we haven't said much today in an inning is Rarick falling behind multiple batters. Walked Gregg, and now 2 balls and no strikes to Beaver. 2-0 in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Runner at second is Digman. Gregg stands at first. As Rarick, alongside with Savageau, looks in the circle, looks into their dugout, gets the sign. Here's a 2-1. This is going to be hit on a line right to the third baseman. They have a chance for two. Not going to be in time. As a secondary runner in Gregg had about to stop the brakes about 20 feet away from the bag and quickly got back. She was fortunate Carr looked at the lead runner, because if she would have looked at the secondary runner first, it probably would have been a double play, but a soft little line drive. Beaver is retired, and there's two down. Maher struck out swinging her last time up. As Rarick works ahead, it's 0-1. Fifth batter to the plate for the Deacons, the most they've sent in an inning against Rarick. All for Fargo Davies. They'll have their 9, 1, and 2 batters due up in the top half of the fifth. This one misses low for a ball. It's now 1-1. As we get you into the Memorial Day weekend mindset here today in Fargo. 1-1 pitch. Foul tipped. Now 1-2. Let's see here, state track and field. That's kind of the first weekend of summer. A lot of times what that has a feeling. And wrapping up the spring sports seasons for state baseball, state softball. You're going to have soccer into golf making its way through for girls soccer and what you'll have from there and into the boys golf seasons. The 1-2 pitch from Rarick. This one will be popped up, playable, man in foul territory. About by a foot makes the catch to retire the Deacons here in the bottom of the fourth. In the bottom of the fourth inning. As you get the pop out there were no runs that hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We played 4 today on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard. The Eagles lead it by 1.
The Rumble on the Red, presented by Ellingson Companies and their Dow Metals Recycling, is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws not sanity drink sprint cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Top of the fifth inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. Savageau, Steinlicht, and Davidson again due up for Fargo Davies. So far for the Eagles, 1 run on 3 hits. They've left 4, and they have committed 0 errors. For the Deacons, no runs on 2 hits. They've left 3, and they've committed 3 errors, but those 3 errors all came in the 3rd inning, and they were fortunate to not give up a run as the Eagles left a couple runners aboard in that contest. As you will see, Savageau again coming up here, who's 0 for 1 from the plate. Here's the pitch. This will be hit down the left field line. That'll go foul. There's the 0-1. Well, if there wasn't a chain link fence there, that would have had a chance to come in the press box. As this will now be 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering on the way. Hit in the air, that'll go down the left field line and foul. For Card, she has pitched equally well, just 2 of them in the first inning that were back-to-back extra base hits. Otherwise, she has matched Rarick in this back-and-forth pitchers duel so far between these 2 clubs. The first game was a good back-and-forth. A swing and a miss. Card gets her 6th strikeout, her 2nd one in a row, and there's one down here at the top of the 5th. Game number 1, West Fargo Cheyenne won over Grand Forks Central 7-6. Presley to Vetter and a single, a double, a 2-run homer with a couple runs scored and 2 runs driven in. Also, Lauren Hamburger made a couple of nice plays defensively, got a couple runs driven in as well for West Fargo Cheyenne in their 7-6 contest. A combined 28 hits in that first game. As back to the top of the lineup here, it's 0-1 to Ellie. Steinlich does reach base one time on an error. This one is popped up toward the shortstop. There's Greg, and there's 2 down. And it's now going to be Olivia Davidson. Davidson 0 for 2 with a pop-out and a ground-out. And between the Deacons and the Eagles here, there's just been 5 hits combined so far in this game. As Card will swing and miss. It'll be 0-1. It's Card right now getting ahead of these Eagle batters. Very similar to Rarick, putting themselves a little bit on their heels right now. The 0-1 pitch. This one foul tipped off the glove of Mitzel. It's now 0-2. Simon left with Kuhneman in center. Oshak stands in right with Beaver at first. Dingman at second. Gregg at shortstop and Maher at third with Mitzel behind the plate. Talon Carr, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 down with nobody on here, top of the 5th. This will miss out of the zone. It's 1-2. Card has sent down the last 6 Davies batters in consecutive order here with 3 strikeouts during that stretch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Olivia. That'll also run out of the zone. Now 2-2. As we'll see what Card finds here if she'll run on the inner part of the zone. So she goes away from Davidson. 2-2 pitch running in. This one will be off of Maher at third base. There's a sharp hit there by Davidson. As that one will be a runner on first base as Davidson is able to get aboard. And that was one hopped right to Maher. And now you'll see Emery to the plate. A double with a run scored. She's reached base twice, once on an error. As Emery takes a strike, it's 0-1. As we'll get a time called here by Emery as she steps out of the batter's box. And Sophie Rarick on the on-deck part of the plate here for the Eagles. The 0-1 hit down the left field line, slicing foul. And with Rarick being a lefty, there's a little more room down the line than what there would be if she was a righty. As that one about a foot the other way, we'd be talking about the Eagles flying around the base pass here. Instead, it will be no balls, 2 strikes. Here, the number 3 batter. And that's Card. With the 0-2, this is going to be hit in the air. That's to left center field. Kuhneman calls off the left fielder, who then able to make the catch as Sims says, I got it this time, in left center field. So fly out to left. There was no runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We played 4.5 today on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard. Davies leads by 1 over the Deacons.
Radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Bottom of the 5th inning we go. The Fargo Shanley Deacons starting to run out of some outs here against Rarick. As Rarick, again, is 9 outs away as it stands right now from the Fargo Davies Eagles, making their way to a state qualifying game tomorrow afternoon. As you'll have Oshak, Olson, and Kuhneman, 7, 8, and 9 batters here for the Deacons. As this one will miss for a ball. It's now 1-0. But if there's a positive note for the Deacons, they've got some base runners on in the last 2 innings after it was 6 up and 6 down to start the game. And actually, it was 8 up and 8 down to start the game before a walk by Kuhneman with 2 outs in the third. Starting to see Rarick falling behind these Deacon batters a little bit more often. Another hitter's count here, as this one will be with Oshak. Now it's going to be 3-0. It's just 1 run right now here for Fargo Shanley. So similar to Davies, you get a runner on, you get a stolen base, a boop, and a little blast somewhere. A little Sinai single could possibly tie the game up. Here's a 3-0. Taking for a strike now, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to the number 7 batter here, the sophomore right fielder. Swing and a miss. It's now 3-2. 6th pitch of the at-bat here for Sophie Rarick. After falling behind 3 balls, no strikes. Looking for her 4th strikeout. 3-2 pitch, foul tipped, and we'll see Holly staying alive. Able to get just enough of that one. As the 3-2 pitch is upcoming. This will be hit, and that'll be gloved by Ellie. They'll make sure they get it regardless at first. On the line drive, shot there, and there's 1 down. So 1 down here from our vantage point. Looked like Steinlicht able to glove it without needing to throw, but smartly as a shortstop, just continue to make the play unless you hear such a definitive by the umpire that it was an out. So there's 1 down. First pitch swinging. It's now to Isabel Olson. It's 0-1. Olson with the ground out her last time up. No balls, 1 strike upcoming here to the freshman. Now it's 0-2. Still to come once we get there. We'll get to our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway, the Red River Valley Speedway. Our player of the game, that and more, is still to come once we get through this EDC contest. And Rarick will get another strikeout here as they finish it off to the first baseman, Savage Joe to man, and the 4th strikeout here for Sophie in the circle, and there's 2 down. As Kuhneman with a walk back in the 3rd inning. She was the first base runner against Rarick of the game. Able to work the count full and get on base. Rarick with a 3-up, 3-down first and second. Went through 4 batters in the 3rd and 5 batters in the 4th. Trying to have another 3-up, 3-down inning here in the 5th. A game that just is over an hour old today here from Mickelson Field. As the West Fargo Packers and the Fargo North Spartans have made their way here to Mickelson to get ready to warm up for game number 3 of the day. As Rarick now at 0-2. All balls, 2 strikes on the way to the Deacon number 9 batter. Will have to work right now down the count for the sophomore. As Rarick sees us on the zone, now 1-2. For the Eagles, 4, 5, and 6 batters with Rarick to lead things off in the 6th. This one foul tipped as Kuhneman is able to keep this one and stay alive here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Just a picturesque day, though. If you want to do outdoor work on the yard, if you want to get to a lake and maybe just put the boat in for the first time this year, anything of that nature comes to mind. It's a nice day to have a grill out here. Just enjoy the outdoors on this Memorial weekend. 1-2 out of the zone. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, for the Eagles, will 1 run be enough? So far with how Rarick is pitching, it's been tough just to get base runners here for the Deacons. As that one just out of the zone. The Deacons have left 3 runners on base so far through 4 innings. 3 balls, 2 strikes as Kuhneman has worked the count full after falling behind 0-2. And out of the zone, and Kuhneman earns a second walk. That'll be the second time that Kendall has earned a 2-out walk against Rarick, and now it goes back to Sim, who in the 3rd inning bunted for an infield base hit. Then Kuhneman was trying to go from first to third. Man threw the car from first to third base to get the runner and Kuhneman out. Back in the 3rd inning. This will go all the way to the backstop as the runner will make her way on the wild pitch. It's now 1-0. So Deacons get a runner at second base here. As Sarah Sim kind of takes a look at where Carr is at third base, about a couple of steps in. Same thing for Man at first, trying to take away that bunt if it does come. 1-0 offering. That'll be on the outer part of the zone. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. After a line drive out, a strikeout, a walk, what will Sim do here for the Deacons in the 5th? That's a miss, now 2-1. 3 pitches on the outer part of the plate so far. Here against Sim. With the 2-1 upcoming from Rarick. Fisted foul. That'll be 2-2. Been some good softball today so far for a game and a half. And both games that you felt like anybody's had a chance to put something together in an inning could come away victorious. The 2-2, swing and a miss, and Rarick gets her 5th strikeout. Her 2nd of the inning, and the Deacons are retired here in the 5th. As we make our way to the 6th inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. It's still a 1-0 lead on the Dakota in North Dakota here on the EDC softball tournament.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
On the DJ Coulter scoreboard here today, DJ Coulter Agency from Auto, Home, Life, Business, and Farm Insurance Agency. They want a shot at your business. Go to djcoulteragency.com. That again is djcoulteragency.com. Davies 1, Fargo Shanley scoreless here on yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller with you as we make our way to the top of the 6th inning. That'll be Sophie Rarick, Elman, and Maisie Carr coming up to the plate. 4, 5, and 6 batters here for Fargo Davies. Eagles looking to add on to their 1-run lead. Trying to see if they can get 1 or 2 additional runs here in this contest. Here's a swing by Rarick. That'll go up the first base side foul. It's 0-1. Well, for the Eagles, they've left 5 runners on base so far against Card. 1 in the 1st and the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 5th. Carter with a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 4th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground. This one underneath the glove of Maher into left field. As we'll see this here for Sophie Rarick, able to get aboard.
First baseman, number 25, Elman.
As you'll see, Elman 0 for 2 today, and we'll see a courtesy runner coming in. Number 12 here for the Eagles. As Morgan Roth for the 3rd time will come on a courtesy run for Rarick. As Man, we'll see if she bunts or if she gets the go-ahead to swing. She gets the go-ahead to swing. A one-hopper trying to be backhanded by Gray. Gray knocked it down, but then on the throwing error will allow the runner to go from 2nd to 3rd. So Morgan Roth will go to 3rd base on the throwing error. Man will get the infield single. As you'll have runners at the corners, top of the 6th inning. So runners at first and third is, I think what Matt Veit was asking, possibly there for Mann as she was going to round first base. If there maybe would have been interference to try to go to second. But regardless, the Eagles with a great opportunity here in the top of the sixth. And they'll put a couple balls in play. They get rewarded with 2 runners on. And now it's to Carr. Carr will see this one go foul. She's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, and that's exactly what Card is looking for here. Another strikeout to get the first down in the 6th inning. More importantly, keep the game at 1-0 as it stands right now. First time the Eagles have had a base runner at third base since Machenbacher was retired there in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss. Got her out in front. Now 0-2. Only situations here with softball runners at the corners. A lot of time you can do some different things. A delayed steal, go for a steal, see if you can get the catcher to bite, and maybe bring a run in from third base to take the second run of the game here for the Eagles. Here's the 0-2 offering. Hit on the air. That'll get past the third baseman, and a run will come in. Carr with an RBI single, and the Eagles have taken a 2-0 lead. So Fargo Davies with a 2-0 advantage here on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard. This coming in will be Morgan Roth. She will come in to score. Going to second will be Mann, and then Carr will get the run driven in. As we'll have a new runner into the game. Number 3 here for Fargo Davies. As this looks to be with Peyton Powell. Powell will be running at second base. So Powell at second. You got Carr at first. Still nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Bunting. This one will be in for a strike. It's 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike. And the Eagles, now it's can they get a crooked number up on the board? 1 run across. But for Fargo Davies, can they get greedy? Here's the 0-1 pitch. Going through the zone again. Yes, she did. For a strike, it's now 0-2 to Nybakken. First time here in the game that Fargo Davies has strung some hits together since it was back in the 1st inning where it was back-to-back doubles. 3 singles so far by Rarick, Mann, and Carr. Here's the 0-2 to Nybakken. That'll be out of the zone. Now 1-2. And against Rarick, a 2-run lead might feel like a 5-run lead here for what Fargo Davies and what Rarick has been able to do in the circle. Here's the 1-2 offering. That'll run in at the hands for a ball. It's now 2-2. This Card has given up 3 hits so far here in the inning. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 looking. Card gets her 7th strikeout, and there's 1 down here in the 6th.
Designated player, number 8, Reese Dietrich.
7 hits against Card so far here in the game. 2 runs. He has yet to walk a batter, and there's 7 strikeouts. As Dietrich is 1 of 2 with a single. This will miss inside, now 1-0. So far, 2 runs driven in, 1 by Rarick in this game, 1 by Carr here for Fargo Davies. As we'll get the 1-0 pitch upcoming as Card back in the circle here for the sophomore. This one bunted all the way to the back. And that'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Card, a returning all EDC selection from a season ago. And the same for Rarick for Fargo Davies. So 2 players who were all conference as underclassmen. And we will get to the all EDC team coming up tomorrow. Here from Mickelson Field, your coach of the year and senior athlete as well after conclusion of the championship game. Here's the pitch. This will be bunted into the glove of Mitzel for the strike. And it's now be 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at second base is Powell. Carr stands at first. That's Card with the 1-2. This one will be hit and right into the press box area here, and we'll do it all over again at Mickelson. As you're looking to have this 8 batter in the lineup, wearing number 8 for the Eagles. Sheepson can put the ball in play with Dietrich against Carter as we get a time called. And it goes to the 7th grader and the catcher in Savageau. After that, here's the pitch. This one will be popped up, and a nice play by the second baseman, Dingman. Dingman with the catch, and that'll be 2 down. Going back to Savageau here. Also got an 8th grader and Powell on the lineup here for Fargo Davies. A freshman in Rarick, and then after that, pretty much the majority of sophomores, juniors, and seniors. 2 down here, top of the 6th. Big out there for Card in the circle as this one runs out of the zone. It's now 1-0. Most batters the Eagles have sent to the plate in 1 inning here, 6 in the top half of the 6th inning. Goes back to the top of the lineup then with Ellie on the on-deck circle. Savageau, a pair of strikeouts today against Card. 1-0 is going to be hit, and that's a base knock that'll make its way to left underneath the glove of Sim. Coming in to score is going to be Powell. Another run trying to come on in here with Carr, and it's a bases clearing double on the way here for the Eagles. Four runs come in as you'll get Powell to come in. Carr comes in to score. It went underneath the glove, the left fielder Sim, and you'll get the air on top of that as well by the left fielder, and it will be a 4-0 lead. The first runner was coming in no matter what with Powell, but once it went under the glove, that allowed Carr to go from first to home. And you got the extra little feet there for Savageau. Regardless, for the Eagles, they'll take it. They lead 4-0. This one is going to be a little pop-up that was fisted towards Dingman. And it'll go 4-3, and Ellie is retired. But the Eagles played 3 runs across in the top half of the 6th inning on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard, as they're able to get 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. We played 5.5 today here in Fargo. Davies leads it by 4.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
The World of Outlaws late models return to the Norman County Raceway, Ada, Minnesota, June 28th. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Enjoy the experience. Nationwide top 10 experience last year. Let's make it number 1 this year. World of Outlaws late models. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Tickets now available. ncraceway.com.
Bottom of the 6th inning here in Fargo. Fargo Davies for Fargo Shanley scoreless here today on yourliveevent.com. As you'll see Elman re-entering into the game here for the Fargo Davies Eagles, as she'll be back at first base after the courtesy runner. So Madigan back at first. And for Fargo Shanley now, down to your final 6 outs. Got a little bit more challenging after Davies scores 3 runs in the top half of the inning. Rarick delivers a ball here to Digman. 1 of 2 today with a single to lead things off back in the 4th inning. Here's the 1-0 offering to Haley. Big swing and a miss. Now 1-1. Schedule for the rest of today, 4 o'clock will feature West Fargo and North in our first semifinal. And then it will be Horace and Red River following that roughly at around 6 o'clock, give or take. There's also a miss inside, now 2-1. As Fargo Davies out in front, 2-1 pitch. This one we popped up. That'll be into the stands. That'll be 2-2. Also going on today in Bismarck. They'll make their way through some of the prelims to get to the finals into the state track meet. Got a nice day for that out in Bismarck as well. Pitch, pulled the string. Rarick got her out in front. They make their way to first to complete the strikeout. And Rarick gets her 6th strikeout of the contest. One down here in the 6th.
Re-entering the Davies Eagles also to start this inning, number 25, first base, man.
Here's the pitch on the way to Gray. I'll be in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Region 2 baseball championship game. Thompson over Hillsborough Central Valley. So they will play a little bit later on as well for the second championship. But the Thompson Tommies defeat the Hillsborough Central Valley Burros in a game that was flying, about a minute 15. 3-2 in high school baseball today. As this will be hit on the ground. That'll be right to man. Gray is retired on the ground out, and there's 2 down. So Thompson, they can pick up another win. They will be making their way to the state tournament. Hillsborough Central Valley will also need one more win to make their way to the state tournament. First pitch swinging. This one is popped and skied. Machenbaker now will come in and play it a couple steps. And the Deacons are 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We played 6 today on the DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard. Davies 4, Shanley scoreless on yourliveevent.com.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
Top of the 7th inning here on yourliveevent.com. It is the EDC softball tournament. Down to inning number 7. As you'll see, the Eagles have Davidson Machenbaker and Sophie Rarick coming up to the plate. Difference in this game has been the 6th inning, but more importantly the first, where Davies got back-to-back doubles by Machenbaker and Rarick. They're able to get a 1-0 lead, and they have yet to relinquish that here in this contest. Davies 10-12 on the season. Fargo Shanley sits at 5-9. As they're making their way down the left field side for Coach Michael Finch, talking things over right now, is just taking a look as we got 8 players. We just waiting for the left fielder right now here for Fargo Shanley to come back through as we'll get to our post-game show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. We're just kind of talking it over a little bit here for this one. And just waiting on a player to come through the dugout and get everything situated. As there's a bunch of smiles here, so nothing that would be contested with in terms of an issue at the moment, as they'll have the left fielder make her way now. So that'll be number 18 coming out. As it'll be Cagle, it looks like here, in for Sim. So Cagle will come on here. So Kegel will come on and again play left field. It's Davidson. We'll see this miss for a ball. It's 1-0. the junior center fielder here for the Eagles. Davidson, Monchenbaker, and Rarick, as the Eagles 1 inning away from extending their season and getting to a state qualifier, in which they did last season. They'll play a new team after losing to Cheyenne in a pitcher's duel last year out in Castleton. It was 2-1. So 2 balls, no strikes on the way. With the pitch, this will be hit on the ground. That'll be a big hop to Maher at third base. Across the diamond to Beaver, 5-3 on the putout. And there's 1 down. As you'll have Monchenbaker. So Emery with a double, a run scored today. 1 of 3 so far at the plate. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. That'll go towards the second baseman, Digman, who gives it to Beaver. 4-3 and 2 down in the top half of the 7th inning.
Pitcher number 15, Sophie Rarick.
Sophie Rarick with a double today. She's reached base all 3 times. A single, a double. Reached base on an error with a run driven in. And then Morganrath, who came on and courtesy ran for her. Morganrath came in and scored as well. Been a productive spot in the lineup here for head coach Matt Veit. And she's in a swing. This one will be in the air to right center field, and that will split the gap. Rounding first, and a big turn there. Good job by Kuhneman to bring the ball back in quickly. And Rarick is aboard here with a 2-out single. And there will be a courtesy runner, and right on cue is coming in will be Morganroth here at first base.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 12, Alyssa Morganroth.
Now it goes to man, as L. Mann here for the Eagles. Trying to get the 2-out rally going here for Fargo Davies. The pitch going on the way. This one will be hit. The first baseman giving chase as well as the second baseman, and just can't get to it. It's now 0-1. The backbreaker hit from a Deacon perspective as it stands right now is that hit by Maisie Cord that went under at the time of Sem in left field. 1 run would have probably came in, but it allowed an additional run to come in as well and just add to the Davies 2-0 lead to make it a 3 and then eventually a 4-0 advantage, as this will be hit to Maher at third base. She will throw it across 5-3, and that'll retire the Eagles here in the top of the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base as we make our way to the bottom of the 7th inning. Fargo Davies leads it by 4 on your liveevent.com.
Or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Fargo Davies 3 outs away to get to a noon game tomorrow in a state qualifier. Well, for Fargo Shanley, it's all about getting base runners and finding ways to bring those base runners in consecutive order here against Rarick, who's gone 6 innings so far of 2-hit baseball, 2-hit softball, that is, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. While in comparison, her counterpart in Talon Card, 7 innings of work, 9 hits, 4 runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. These 2 all EDC selections from a season ago are showing you the reason why that they were all EDC selections as an 8th grader and as a 9th grader. As you will see, Liz Beaver here to the plate. So Beaver, Maher, and then from there, Oshak for the Fargo Shanley Deacons. They will try to find a way to bring Kuhneman and then get back to the top of the lineup here in this one. As this will be swung on. That'll be 0-1. Going back to Sophie after a single of Dingman and a walk of Gregg. She has retired. That's 5, 3, 4, 9 of the last 10 batters, with Kuhneman earning a walk during that stretch. As this one will run in. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Davies. Here's the 1-1 in there. Now 1-2. Most batters to plate for Fargo Shanley has been 5 in the 4th. As you'll see, the 1-2 strike upcoming here for Rarick. 1-2, swung on a miss, and Sophie gets her 7th strikeout. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As now coming up to the plate will be Maher. So Maher here for the Deacons. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a pop-out to Machenbaker at second. Here's a swing that'll be hit up the first base side. That'll go foul at 0-1. So no balls and a strike on the way. As you'll see, Rarick with the pitch. This one will be hit foul now, 0-2. Yeah, but a lot of credit to Sophie. If you're just joining us, she retired the first 8 batters in a row to begin this game before the Deacons finally had a runner on. And she has held the Deacon bats at bay here this afternoon. Oh, able to pull the string. Rarick with back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th. And if Sophie can continually find that pitch, and you just have to, as a batter, keep that in the back of your mind on that change, that can go a very long way. Now it's to Oshak to keep the season alive here for the Deacons as they're down to their final out. This one will miss out. The zone 1 ball, no strikes. As Rarick is trying to retire the last 7 batters that she has faced in order. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll be in there now, 1-1. On DJ Coulter Agency scoreboard, Davies trying to pitch a shutout. It would be the first shutout of the EDC tournament. Red River beat Davies 7-1, and this is a swing and a miss. It's now 1-2. 1 strike away here for Rarick to get her 9th strikeout of the game. The 1-2. Yes, she did. Went through the zone, and that'll do it as Rarick gets her 9th strikeout and strikes out the side here in inning number 7. As Rarick will pick up the win here today for Fargo Davies. 7 innings of work, 2 hit ball, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts in a game that goes 1 hour and 30 minutes here today. We'll get to our post-game show coming up. We'll hear from a victorious player, that and more, as we get to our Red River Valley Speedway, Norman County Raceway post-game report here on your liveevent.com.
Trusted news, weather, and sports from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shanley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
As we come back on our post-game show, brought to you in part by the Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway here today in this one. This interview coming up will be in a few moments. We'll hear from the winning pitcher, that is Sophie Rarick. But first, let's get to some of the particulars in this contest, and that is our player of the game, brought to you in part by Enbridge Energy. And the cat's out of the bag, Sophie Rarick, obviously, with the complete game, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits, no runs, and also she reaches base all 4 times, a double, a single, and on an air. She is our Enbridge Energy player of the game, and just a freshman at that here in this one. From our Enbridge Energy player of the game to our Agassi Precision Egg play of the contest. From the Shanley perspective, Mitzel was able to throw out Steinlicht at second base on a nice tag then by Greg. That was the 1-2 combination, so able to have Mitzel go to Greg and then apply the tag. That was a really nice play. That was back in the 3rd inning. That is our Agassi Precision Egg play of the contest. Your local precision planting dealer. For more information, go to Agassi Precision Eggs website. That again is planterdoc.com, planterdoc.com. From there to our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. The connection was Emery Machenbaker with 2 outs in the first, able to get a double. Sophie Rarick then able to bring her in, and that was eventually the game-winning hit here in this contest, as Davies had a 1-0 lead after the half inning in the first and would go on to win 4-0. Our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection goes to the Rarick and Machenbaker back-to-back doubles here in this one. Go to halsteadtel.com. Discover local reliability that you can trust at Halstead Telephone Company. It's how to connect at halsteadtel.com. As we continue on our Norman County Raceway and Red River Valley Speedway post-game report, Fargo Davies, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 7 runners left on base. For Fargo Shanley, no runs, 2 hits, 4 errors, and 4 runners left on base in a game that goes 1 hour and 30 minutes here this afternoon from Mickelson Field. Card picks up the loss, 7 innings of work, 9 hits, 4 runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. Well, Rarick will pick up the win here for the Fargo Davies Eagles. Steinlicht in this game goes 0 for 4. Davidson goes 1 of 4 here in this one. Machenbaker was able to go 1 of 4 from the plate. Rarick again goes 3 of 4. From there, Elman goes 1 of 4 with Maisie Carr with a run driven in, goes 1 of 3. Nybakken 0 for 3. Reese Dietrich goes 1 of 3. And Savageau goes 1 of 3 here today in this one. For the Fargo Shanley Deacons with Sarah Sim, she goes 1 of 3 with an infield single. Dingman goes 1 of 3 with a single. Alexa Gray goes 0 for 2 today with a walk. Talon Card goes 0 for 3 here in this one. Liz Beaver goes 0 for 3 in the contest with Maher 0 for 3. Oshak went 0 for 3. You had Olsen 0 for 2. And a couple walks by Kuhneman to get on base twice here for the Fargo Shanley Deacons. Again, this is our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and Red River Valley Speedway. When we come back, we'll hear from the pitcher herself who picked up a complete game win. That is Sophie Rarick. Around the corner next year, and Fargo Davies advances in the EDC softball tournament. Will continue after this here on your liveevent.com.
It's the North Dakota All-Star Gathering on your live event, as we'll cover the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 2nd and 3rd.
This will be hit and over the shortstop berg into left center field. A run comes in to score with Alexander Rath.
Optimist Volleyball Series June 16th and 17th.
Blue outside Linsinger with another hammer.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 14th and 15th.
Baldwin finds Wick. Wick open, three-pointer coming. Yes, sir!
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
The Rumble on the Red, presented by Ellingson Companies and their Dow Metals Recycling, is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws non-sanitary drink sprint cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Well, joining us now, the winning pitcher of record. Hear that again is Sophie Rarick, just going back through the stat line. A complete game, 2-hitter, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts, striking out the side here in this one. Sophie in the 7th inning. What was just working for you on the mound here in this particular one? Able to kind of get things working early, getting ahead of batters before you gave up a walk to Kuhneman there in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, I think just coming to this game, I know that I have a field behind me, and that got me really, feels always like straight up on the mound, and I'm safe with that. So I just got to throw the ball, and I know they have my back. So.
And they
Yeah.
top the first. How big was it? You get a little 2-out rally going. You get the birthday girl there with Emery able to get a double. You able to get one out as well. Take an early 1-0 lead. Just take us through your approach and at the plate on that one, just hitting out to left center.
Yeah, I just kind of stepped into the box thinking like I've faced this pitcher before, and I had someone on second, and I just saw it, hit it, and it was exciting. Yeah, get that start.
For you, Sophie, do you notice when talent on the opposite side is wheeling and dealing, or you see another pitcher kind of going step for step as you are when you all of a sudden looking up and it's a 1-0 game for the majority of the game? How much as a pitcher are you thinking about that, or I'm just trying to make the best pitches when I have a chance to step back in that circle?
Yeah, just kind of like you said, just kind of best pitches as I can, seeing what they are not as well hitting today, and I'm throwing around them and trying to just do my best.
3 runs in the 6th inning. You got things going. Obviously, yourself able to get on base. And then with Mann and Maisie Carr, just kind of what did you see from them as you were able to get some runners moving around the base pass and score 3 runs in that 6th inning?
Yeah, they've been incredible all year. They can really hit the ball. So when they get those clutch hits in the end of the game to get us up, it's like I'm proud of them, and that's what they do. So
final thing for me, Sophie, before we let you go, game tomorrow at noon. You're going to wait to see who your opponent's going to be, but biggest thing you want to bring from this game is what into that state qualifier, which you guys were at last year as well?
Yeah, definitely our mindset. We were pretty loud in the dugout today, so I just gotta our mindset stay up and just bring it tomorrow.
Hey, Sophie, congratulations on the win. Best of luck tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you.
Winning pitcher again for Fargo Davies, Sophie Rarick, will continue after this here on yourliveevent.com.
Thank you.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Again, as we continue on our post-game show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway, as we take a look at what happened earlier today across the state of North Dakota for the WDA and the EDC as well. WDA action, a game that went final earlier, 15-5. Mandan over Bismarck Legacy in a loser-out game, as the WDA also still has a couple more games out west to be had, as you have Minot North and Jamestown in a loser-out game. Winners bracket will feature Williston against Bismarck High and Minot High against Dickinson High out in WDA softball. Earlier today here on yourliveevent.com, West Fargo Cheyenne with a 7-6 win over Grand Forks Central. Joining them in the win bracket is Fargo Davies with a 4-0 win over Fargo Shanley. West Fargo and North will get things off at about 4 o'clock here, and then from there we will get to West Fargo Horse and Grand Forks Red River following that. That does it for our post-game show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Get ready for racing on the radio. They're coming up this Friday night, later tonight here in West Fargo on 106.5 FM KRJB. And for more information about the Red River Valley Speedway, simply go to redrivervalleyspeedway.com. Again, your final Davies score as they improved at 10-12 on the season, make that 11-12 on the season, while the Deacons finish at 5-10 on the year. We'll see you in about just over an hour for a pregame show between the Spartans and the Packers upcoming here of the EDC softball tournament.